x plus 1 over x all raised to power 2 is equal to 1, and we should find x to the 30 plus 1 over x 30. This is too much for you, right? Yes, but let's just try with some of our quadratic solutions. So we are given that this is equal to 1, okay? We can make something out of that. We can say that x plus 1 over x is equal to what? You know, by taking the square of both sides, we're going to have the square of the left-hand side is just left with this, and the square root of 1 is going to give us positive or negative 1. That's good. Okay, so we've had this. This is the first thing we want to make use of. Now, I want you to go ahead and expand the given equation. So, expanding this, we're going to have x squared plus 1 over x squared plus 2. You know, it was from the expansion of x plus 1 over x all squared. So, if you expand this one right here, you're going to have this. You know, the expansion of this is giving us this. So, I would say, okay, this here, x plus 1 over x, is said to be what? Positive or negative 1. So, just put positive or negative 1 in that place. We have positive or negative 1 squared. You know, whether it's positive or whether it's negative, if you take the square of it, the result will be positive 1. So, recall, the left-hand side is just x squared plus 1 over x squared plus 2. I know that this is equal to 1. Okay, so let's go up to this part. I'll say, let's just, you know, collect like terms and simplify the whole thing. So we're going to have x squared plus 1 over x squared. They don't want to come over here. By subtracting 1 from both sides, we're going to have plus 1 equal to 0. That simply means we simplify this, we'll have x to the 4th power plus x to the 2nd power plus 1 is equal to 0. So this resolves in a quadratic equation or in a quadratic polynomial, okay? And there is no 3rd power here. So it's even an advantage for us. We can simply say let t be equal to x squared. We bring in t, that will become t squared. You know, x to the 4th power is just x to the 2nd power to power 2. So x to the 2nd power is t. Raise it to power 2, you have this. Plus, this is just t. T plus, okay, this man right here is t to the 0, x to the 0. So that's just 1 is equal to 0. Alright, so we go ahead and solve this quadratic equation. We won't be able to factor this. So we use our formula method by simply saying that t1 and 2, the two values of t will be equal to the negative of b, negative 1 plus or minus the square root of b squared, that's 1 squared minus 4ac minus 4 over 2 times 1 is 2. So we say negative 1 plus or minus the square of negative 3 over 2. This is complex. Alright, comma 2. Now we have these two factors, these two values of t. Now I want you to go ahead and observe that if t is equal to x squared, okay, that simply means t to the power 15 will be x to the power 30. So we put here t to the power 15, t to the power 15, same thing as saying x to the power 30. Okay, all right. I'm going to clean this right here. So from what we said, this simply means that t to the power 15 plus 1 over t to the power 15 is the same thing as saying x to the 30 plus 1 over x to the 30. Recall that we said that t is equal to x squared. Okay, so at this point, I can split this to have t to the power 3 to the power 5. T to the power 3, and this is raised to the power 5. So if I can find my t to the power 3, definitely I will just raise it to the power 5. I'm going to have the result. Okay, so let's go ahead and find t to the 3rd degree. Now, t is equal to this, okay? That simply means that t is equal to, t1 is equal to negative 1 plus or minus the square root of negative 3. t1 is just plus of this over 2. and the second value is -1 minus square root of -1/2. So considering this first value of t, we're going to see that t to the third power is just equal to that man there to the third power, which is -1 plus square root of -3/2 to the third power. So we're going to expand this, and we will have t to the third power. We're going to have, now the denominator already is 8. -1, this and this cube is just -1 to the third power is -1, plus 3 times -1 square is just +1 times the second term, that is square root of -3 to the first power. Okay, go ahead and say plus 3 times, now this now will be raised to the first power, that is -1, and square root of -3 raised to the second power, that will become -3 plus, now square root of -3 to the third degree is the same thing as saying square root of -3 to the second power times the square root of -3 to the first power. Okay, so doing that, we have -1, now 3 times root of -3, 3 root -3. Now -1 times -3 is just +9 times 3. Sorry, -1 times -3 is just +3. 3 times 3 is just 9, plus 9. The square root of a -3 is just, square of -3, you raise it to the power 2, you have -3 times square root of -3. Okay, so you observe this and this are equal and opposite in sign, so you cancel them out. -1, remember your denominator 8. -1 plus 9 is just what? +8. So t to the third degree is +8/8. This simply means t to the third degree is just 1. So if t to the third degree is equal to 1, that simply means that t to the third degree raised to power 5, which is the same thing as x to the third degree, is equal to 1 to power 5 is equals to 1. Now I want you to go ahead and solve for this other guy here. Okay, when this is negative, you will still observe that the result will be 1. That's what you will get. So if the result is 1, 1, that's just a single value, 1, we will now say in conclusion that that man up there is x to the power 30 plus 1/x to the power 30 is equal to, now x to the 30th degree is just this, which is 1, plus 1/x to the 30th degree is still 1, which is equals to 2. So 2 is the result we get by adding that to that when x plus 1/x is equal to 1. So that's just what you get by doing that little expansion.